All right, thank you guys. We went 3-1 with a push in our 5 premium sports picks on BrockPage.com yesterday. We also improved to 4-1 in our last 5 NBA tier package picks on that website as well. And the good news is we have another NBA tier package pick going off here today. We currently have over 790 members who are signed up and active on that webpage. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on this channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. The Rockets take on the Nuggets, 5 o'clock Eastern Star Time. Denver's minus 11.5, totals 217. The Nuggets are on a 2-game losing streak, and they also dropped 4 out of their last 6. Denver's also struggled to cover the point spread. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7. Denver's dead last in the NBA in shooting from the stripe. They're also scoring just 98 points a game at home, and they hit only 27% of their three-pointers there. Denver's taking on a Houston squad who successfully covered the number in 3 out of their last 5. The Rockets are also 3-2 against the spread when traveling this season. Houston's in the top 10 in fourth quarter scoring on the road. Christian Wood scoring just about 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, couple assists for Wood. Meanwhile, Jalen Green is scoring 14 points a game himself, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Green. Houston's in the top 10 in fewest fourth quarter points allowed. When it comes to the injury report, House and Tice are questionable for Houston. Now, total-wise, the Rockets are 75% to the under for the whole season. Meanwhile, Denver's 7-1 to the under themselves. I'm going to lean toward Houston plus 11.5 and the under 217. Next game, Jazz Heat, 7:30 East. Miami's minus 2.5, totals 211. The Heat may have to go to work without Lowry and Opala. Both are listed as questionable. Strus and Oladipo, they're still out indefinitely as well. Miami scored just 78 points in their most recent outing. That was an embarrassing 17-point loss to Boston. The Heat's also struggling to shoot the 3-ball. Just 28% shooting from beyond the arc at home. They're taking on a 7-1 Jazz team who leads the NBA in guarding the 3-ball on the road. Utah holds their opponents to just 24% shooting from downtown when they travel. Utah allows just 98 points a game on the road, and they're first in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage. Rudy Gobert is averaging just about 2 steals a game, 13 defensive rebounds, and 17 total rebounds a game for Rudy. And scoring-wise, Donovan Mitchell is averaging nearly 25 points a game, along with 4 boards, 4 assists. Now keep an eye on Mitchell and O'Neal, as both are listed as questionable, battling some injuries. Now, total-wise, Utah's 5-0 to the under on the road, 75% to the under for the whole year. Meanwhile, 3 out of Miami's last 4 home games fell under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Utah plus 2.5, under 211. Next game, Sixers, Bulls, 8 o'clock East. Chicago's minus 3.5, totals 215. Chicago failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4. One of those failures was an outright loss to Philly. The Chicago's really struggled under the net. They're in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding at home. They're taking on a Sixers team who actually won their last 5 straight, 4-0 against the spread in their last 4. Philly leads the NBA in offensive field goal percentage. Joel Embiid scoring 20 points a game along with 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Meanwhile, Seth Curry scoring over 17.5 points a night himself, 53% shooting from beyond the arc. And speaking of three-pointers, the Sixers are in the top 3 in the NBA in shooting percentage from downtown. Now, injury-wise, Thibault and Joe are out. Green and Korkmaz are questionable. And, of course, Harris and Simmons, they're both still out. And definitely, obviously, Simmons probably, I don't know, I don't think you'll ever see him play again in a Philly uniform, but you never know. But anyway, total-wise, 3 out of Philly's last 4 road games fell under the number. 7-2 to the under for the entire season. Meanwhile, Chicago saw 3 out of their last 4 at the United Center fall under the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Philadelphia plus 3.5, under 215. Next game, Celtics, Mavericks, 8:30 Eastern start time. Dallas is minus 3.5, totals 210. Dallas failed to cover in their last 2 straight, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. Bullock and Porzingis are questionable. Kleba is still out. The Mavs are just 1-3 against the number at the American Airlines Arena, and they're dead last in free throw percentage at home. As a matter of fact, Dallas has really struggled offensively. They're scoring just 101 points a game, and they're shooting only 30% from three land. They're taking on a Boston team who's on a 2-game winning streak, and they also went 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 road games. Boston is in the top 3 in road scoring, top 5 in road offensive rebounding. Jason Tatum scoring nearly 23 points a game, 8 boards, 3 assists for Tatum. Meanwhile, Dennis Schroeder is getting 13 points a game along with 3 rebounds, 6 assists. And defensively, the Celtics are holding their opponents to just 40% shooting from the field on the road. And when it comes to the injury report, Richardson is questionable, Brown is out. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Boston's last 3 got over the line, throwing out the Miami game. Meanwhile, Dallas saw their last 2 straight get over the total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Boston plus 3.5, over 210. Next matchup, Hawks, Suns, 10 o'clock East. Phoenix is minus 5, totals 221.5. The Suns are on a 3-game winning streak, top 5 in offensive field goal percentage. Devin Booker is dropping over 22.5 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Book. Meanwhile, DeAndre Ayton's grabbing 11 rebounds a night and scoring 14 points a game. And speaking of rebounds, the Suns are in the top 10 in both offensive and defensive rebounding at home. They're taking on an Atlanta team who lost their last 2 straight, and they also dropped 4 out of their last 5. And even worse than that, the Hawks are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. Collins and Bogdanovich are questionable for tonight's action. Atlanta scoring just 102 points a game on the road, and they're making just 31% of their three balls in that same category. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Atlanta's last 5 road games got over the number. Meanwhile, the Suns are 4-1 to the over in their last 5 home games, 71% to the over for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward Phoenix minus 5, under 221.5. Next and final matchup, it is going to be Lakers versus the Blazers, 10:30 Eastern start time. Portland's minus 5.5, totals 222. The Blazers have lost 3 out of their last 4 ball games, 0-4 against the spread during that stretch. Portland's in the bottom 10 in points allowed per contest, bottom 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're taking on a Lakers team who won 3 out of their last 4 themselves. And despite going to work without LeBron today, they're still making nearly 50% of their field goals on the road. Anthony Davis, he's still the team's leading scorer with 25 points a game, along with 11 boards and 2 blocks. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook's averaging 20 points a game himself, 8 rebounds, 8 assists for Westbrook. The Lakers are in the top 10 in offensive three-point percentage. Now, total-wise, LA's 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games on the road. I'm going to lean toward the Lakers plus 5.5, over 222. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 4-1 in our last 5 NBA tier package picks. I like Houston plus 11.5, under 217. Utah plus 2.5, under 211. I'm also leaning toward Philadelphia plus 3.5, under 215. I like Boston plus 3.5, over 210. Phoenix minus 5, under 221.5. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 4-1 in our last 5 NBA tier package picks on brockpage.com. I'm going to lean toward the Lakers plus 5.5, over 222. With that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day, and that's going to go to September Johnson, who said yesterday, "You were pretty much spot on with hockey the other day. Thanks for your hard work, G. And certainly appreciate the comment. And you know what? I haven't really been referred to as a G before, but I'll accept it. I don't think I'm a G, but I will accept it. I'll accept the compliment. But anyway, always good to hear from September Johnson in the comments section. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you're going to get access to those picks all the way through the end of November. I always tell folks the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.